All right, today we're going to dive into this really powerful concept. It's all captured in just one word, Sankofa. So it all starts with this image right here. It's a symbol from the Akan people of Ghana. And what you see is a bird, it's flying forward, but look, its head is turned completely backward. And in its beak, it's holding an egg, which, represents the future. It's this total paradox, but it holds some really deep wisdom. And this symbol has a name, Sankofa. You pronounce it Sankofa. It comes from an Akan proverb that goes, Siwo wedi fi, nawal Sankofa ayinki. And the translation? It's simple, but so powerful. It is not wrong to go back for what you forgot.
Okay, so we're talking about looking back, but this idea is so much more than just memory. It's a whole philosophy, really, all about the wisdom you can find by looking backward.
So to really get Sankofa, you've got to understand that it's just one of many, many Adinkra symbols. Think of them like these incredible visual icons that the Akan people created. Each one represents a complex idea or a proverb about how to live a good, wise life. It's almost like a library of wisdom that you can literally see.
Now, this is pretty different from an idea you've probably heard a million times in the West, right? That, quote, those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. The whole focus there is negative. It's all about avoiding mistakes. But Sankofa is different. It's not just defensive. It's an active, positive idea about going back and reclaiming something valuable, something that was lost or maybe even stolen.
And you can imagine, for people in the African diaspora, people whose histories, cultures, even languages were intentionally cut off and suppressed, this isn't just some abstract philosophical concept. No way. Sankofa is a principle of survival. It's about restoration. It's the literal work of becoming whole again.
And that leads us right into how this one powerful symbol actually became a full-blown movement, all about reclaiming a stolen past.
The great writer Maya Angelou, she just nailed the spirit of Sankofa with this quote. Facing that wrenching pain of history, it's not about getting stuck there. It's about finding the courage to look at it, head on, so we don't have to live through it again. That courage, that's what drives real progress.
And this idea was brought to life in a huge way back in 1993 with Haile Garima's film, which was also called Sankofa. It's this incredible story about a modern woman who gets literally pulled back in time and has to experience slavery firsthand. And get this, it was made with zero Hollywood money. They distributed it themselves, and it became this massive cultural phenomenon. It just proved how badly people wanted to see and hear these stories.
The same principle, Sankofa, was also a huge driving force behind the movement to teach Black history in schools. And the argument at its core is really simple, right? You just can't understand where we are today if you don't understand the full story of how we got here. You need all of it.
Okay, so let's zoom out a bit, because this isn't just about one community. We're going to see how this idea actually works as a global practice, a model for honest progress for, well, all of us.
And I want to be really clear about this. The whole point of looking back isn't to get stuck in pain or to make people feel guilty. It's about something totally different. It's about honest acknowledgement. That's it. That honesty is the non-negotiable first step. It's the starting line for any kind of real, lasting progress.
And you can actually see this Sankofa principle in action all over the world. I mean, think about South Africa's Truth and Reconciliation Commission after apartheid. That was basically a national Sankofa process. Or Germany's unwavering, decades-long commitment to Holocaust education. That's a Sankofa practice. Even the global movement for reparations. At its heart, that's a Sankofa argument. It's saying, we have to address what was taken before we can genuinely move forward together.
So, that all brings us to today. Why does this ancient principle from the Akan people matter so much right now?
I mean, look around. We're living in a time of really intense, often very heated debates about history, aren't we? Debates about what gets taught in schools, what statutes should be up, whose stories get told. And what the Sankofa principle teaches us is that choosing not to look back, that's not a neutral act. It's a choice. And it's a choice that helps some people and hurts others.
Which really leaves us with a fundamental question we all have to ask ourselves. In our society, in our own communities, even in our schools, whose memory counts? Whose past is considered important enough to go back and retrieve?
And again, let's just remember the goal here. The whole point of this Addiscan principle isn't to punish anyone. It's not about making people feel ashamed or guilty. The entire goal is to gain wisdom, the kind of deep wisdom you can only get by honestly and truly understanding where you've come from.
So we end right back where we started. with the Sankofa bird, flying forward but always with its eyes on the past, carrying the future in its beak. What it teaches us is that if we don't know our history, we're lost, and that going back to get what we forgot, it's not wrong. In fact, sometimes it's the only way we can possibly move forward.